Hello and welcome to Yoga Therapy Mallorca, and I'm Mirjam Wagner. I start these free lectures on A Course in Miracle as I have been asked often in the last 3 years since I started the studies of this incredible course, what exactly the Course in Miracle is. So in these videos here, I give you a glimpse of the meaning of this channeled work. I give you my way of understanding and how I integrate it into my life, how it helped me, and I give you a way to understand the quite complex and complete text of this book here, so that you get curious about, and those who feel that it resonates with you, that you go and start your own studies with this incredible book. Myself, I came across this wonderful spiritual work of transformation 4 years ago, when in January, David and we went for a walk in winter in January. I still remember one of these beautiful days here on the island. The sun is there, it's fresh, it's clear, everything is green. And we went with our dear friends Sandra and Drew, the owners of Earth Yoga here in Palma, for a walk by the beach. We're talking about life and the chance of following a spiritual path nowadays, and the challenges to integrate that in our Western modern lives. And Sandra asked me very spontaneously, have you heard about Marianne Williamson? And I said, no, I don't know who she is. And so I went home and checked her out, listened to her TED Talks, listened to her various interviews, and I was deeply impressed. I was deeply impressed and touched in a deep, instinctive place of wisdom and remembering, because what she said and how she answered the often tricky questions of the interviewers, how she always answered from a place of deep trust in life, in the goodness of people, in the beauty and perfection of human beings and the world itself, and how she always brought up that we have a clear choice. We can choose between fear and between love. We can choose between war and between peace. And we can choose between trust or disconnection and isolation. And Marianne Williamson, who you find, by the way, on her webpage marianne.com, mentions the Course in Miracles in all of her talks, in all of her interviews, whenever she talks about her life and about all her active work that she does in this world. And she is in fact a woman of action. She doesn't just talk. She puts it into reality, into practice, and encourages us to do the same. So I ordered this book that looks now like this, very well worked with. It's my 3rd year with it, and began to dive into this different, not difficult, but different way of looking at the world. And I have to say, it brought me deep, true inner peace that is reflected how I interact with the world around me, who I am when I am with my children, with my husband, with my friends, with my students and patients, with my neighbors in the traffic jam. It has an incredible influence here and brought an incredible relief, empowerment, and, as I said already, inner peace. The main message of this book is that there is only one problem in this world, and this is the disconnection from one another, from God, however you define or interpret this word, and from the source of life itself. And this leads us in a place of fear, from where all the different disguised aspects of fear arise: attack, defense, worries, planning, too much organizing, running forward, doing all the things that show that we do not trust life, that we think we have to take it into our own hand, and that we believe that it's all up in us. And there is a lot up in us, because it's us who have to take the decision: do we choose love over fear, or do we choose fear over love? And then there are all our daily steps that we have to do, we need to do, in order to really cultivate this this aspect of life, this philosophy, this idea of what life is and how it works. When you see this book, there is no author on it. It's just mentioning that it has been published by the Foundation of Inner Peace, and that it has been written down by a certain Helen Schuckman together with her partner William Thetford. This book has been channeled to Helen Schuckman, who is or was a Jewish doctor, and it has been channeled to her over years, and together with her partner, especially against the first resistance that she had. I mean, imagine you all of a sudden hear some voices that ask you to write down what you hear, and it's kind of quite different to the religion that you have been brought up, to the philosophy that you see word of. So you can imagine how scared she was at the beginning, and how much resistance she had, until she finally just sat down and wrote down word by word with the help of her partner. And if you see the pages of this book, then you get another respect and admiration for her, her partner, and for the book, the work itself. From the beginning, when I started to read the book on my own, I found it very tricky that the vocabulary is all based on Christian religion, on Christian belief, and the terms of the Bible. I've been raised up in a Christian household as well, and I had embodied all this concept of punishment and being what is good, what is bad, of the concept of heaven and hell, and what it means to be good. I had these were aspects of my childhood, and it took me a long time to free myself from this concept and to build up my own relationship to God, to what religion means to me, or what spirituality means to me. So I felt a lot of resistance when I started this book, and I know it happens to many others too, whether you are a Christian or you are an atheist or you are Buddhist or a Hindu or Jewish. So this is the first mirror obstacle, but it shouldn't be an obstacle. And I'm very grateful to Marianne Williamson and her weekly live stream talks about the Course in Miracles that allowed me to see and understand the message of this work from a different point of view, from a different place. It's used this Christian terminology and vocabulary. It's really used in a psychological way. So please do not let this push you away from it, as words are just symbols of symbols, and a desperate try to describe something that is beyond our understanding. So this book is divided in 3 parts. The first part, the first book, is the text itself that has been channeled, and that is like a rewriting or re-editing and correction of the message that we have been taking so far as the true message of Christianity. The second part is the workbook, which has 365 tasks, so that every day during a year you get a sentence with an explanation that helps you to make the shift from fear to love. And this is the incredible, powerful part of it. If you don't know where to start with the workbook, and it will guide you into such a different place and gives you the tools to see the world truly from a different place of trust and connection, that it's going to change everything within you and around you in a very powerful and important way. And the third part of the book is for teachers, which means when you want to teach, or when you want to share it with others, or when you have questions that you as a teacher but also as a student want to understand a little bit closer. And once you start the Course in Miracle, you understand that you will always be a student and you will always be a teacher at the same time. One does not go without the other, and we need to be both in order to evolve in a good way in both roles. So this is the first short introduction that I can offer you. The whole book, this complexity here, that will be explained to you afterwards in little videos that I keep posting on my webpage. It is going to invites you to simply be willing to see the world from a different place, to simply stop believing that everything is bad, that we are disconnected, that we are all on our own and we have to fight against and with each other. And it pushes you slightly from behind. Marianne Williamson says this always very nicely. It's as if angels were pushing you gently from behind into this one direction that helps us to truly respect and enjoy life and take advantage of life and put our part actively with our words, with our thoughts and with our actions, so that we can contribute in the global healing process from wherever we are, in whichever circumstances we are, and have our impact in a very powerful way on not only our individual healing process, but also on the healing process of humankind and the planet. Despite of all the wars, despite of all the poverty, despite of all the cruel, awful things we see and hear each day, because this is true as well. It's true that there is war, it's true that there are awful things happening, but it's also true that most of us are just doing incredible, great things in the world that are not seen, that are not shown by the news, that are not met with applause, but that are happening in every single moment. And we simply deny the power that the bad or the cruel aspect of the world has over us, and we choose to focus and to go for the peaceful actions, for the peaceful thoughts, for the gestures and words that create love and connection. And this is the base and the foundation for the healing process of us all. So let's go for it. And if you want to check it out. Order this book, A Course in Miracles. It exists in all languages. And check us out, Marianne Williamson, marianne.com, who gives long, complete live stream talks every week. And I will be back here with other small videos and free talks that you can feel supported by in your individual life. Thank you so much for listening. Namaste.